Is Final Fantasy IX finally getting a remake? I think it's getting more and more likely as they just announced a limited time collab with another Eden, the cat beyond time and space, and it's going to surprise the shit out of you. I'm David Wowee. How you going? Here's everything you need to know about the upcoming collab. I'll show you how you can get a bunch of free 5-star characters at the end of this video. For those of you who don't know, Another Eden is a 2D JRPG that's been around for 9 years, and it's done a bunch of collabs in the past with other legendary titles like Chrono Cross, Persona 5, the Tales of series, Octopath Traveler, Atelier Ryza, and don't ask me how on earth they pull this off, but even King of Fighters. And now, during its winter 2025 crossover reveal, they announced a limited time collab with one of arguably the most loved Final Fantasy games in the franchise, Final Fantasy IX. Another Eden has a massive story that follows our hero Aldo and his friends as they venture across time and space. It takes heavy inspiration from Chrono Trigger. In fact, Masato Kato, one of the legends behind Chrono Trigger, also worked on Another Eden. You'll even recognize a few characters from Chrono Trigger in the game like Ashtir and Cyrus. For those new to Final Fantasy IX, the game follows Zidane, a cheeky thief who kidnaps Princess Garnet only to find out she actually wants to run away from her kingdom. On the road with a weird but lovable crew like shy black mage Vivi and grumpy knight Steiner, they uncover a bigger plot behind a rising war. It turns into a story about who you really are and what life means, especially with Vivi. Bro, I can't wait to play as Vivi again. By the way, this year is also the 25th anniversary of Final Fantasy IX's release. Yup, it came out back in the year 2000 on the PlayStation. A bunch of you watching right now weren't even born then. I mean, do you even know what a PS1 mod chip is? The title of this collab, which Another Eden calls a symphony, is called Memories of Another Sky. In past collabs, aka symphonies, characters from other game worlds would cross over to Another Eden's world. This time, our hero Aldo finds himself transported to the world of Final Fantasy IX. He gets rescued by the Tantalus Theater Troupe as part of Princess Garnet's birthday, and from here, the adventure begins. Which brings us to our playable characters: Thief Dude MC Zidane, Black Mage Vivi, Ultimate Waifu Princess Garnet, and Captain of the Knights of Pluto, Steiner. And like previous Another Eden symphonies, it looks like these characters will all be available to unlock for free as you play through the story. And like other symphonies, my guess is you have to do a bunch of challenges to unlock their 5-star and Stellar Awakened forms. Where Another Eden has a 2D chibi style look, the original FF9, to me anyway, even if in 3D, gave me the same feel of my favorite 2D JRPGs back in the day, so I can see how these two games can synergize well. In fact, this collab is giving us the perfect excuse to relive FF9 all over again in a fresh new way, and it looks like they're taking it seriously. Another Eden's character designer, a fan of the game, even went out of his way to say, I wanted to do everything in my power where we can recreate the feeling in Another Eden. He wanted everything from the color palette to character expressions to the whole vibe of Alexandria to feel familiar to original FF9 fans while still having the unique characteristics of Another Eden. Generally, with Another Eden, you move horizontally across the screen and up and down to get to new sections of the map. In this symphony, it looks like the same for dungeons, but when actually exploring Alexandria, even if the characters and backgrounds are 2D, movement looks similar to how you move in Final Fantasy IX, and it has a 3D feel. What I'm excited about is the world map, which makes me remember the classic 2D Final Fantasies a lot of players grew up with. You can ride a chocobo and treasure hunt around the world. Speaking of which, FF9 fans will be familiar with Chocobo Hot and Cold, where you dig for treasure based on the chocobo's cries. But they added some new features like how you see a hole when you dig on a spot close to the treasure. There are also chocographs that give you hints on where to find these treasures. When it comes to the battle system, they largely recreated character animations as well as their skills. For example, in the demo, we see Vivi casting Faraga and Garnet cast Protect. The characters will have a trance gauge. When they receive damage or use certain skills, the gauge fills up, and like in FF9 when in trance, they go all Super Saiyan on us. Garnet turns blonde, Zidane turns bright pink, and Vivi's pointy outfit turns pure white. They've retained Another Eden's AF bar and stellar gauge. What makes me happy is that they've revamped the character screen to look a lot like FF9's character screen, and collab characters can equip special equipment that lets them learn support abilities. And it's not just the visuals, we're getting original musical scores from FF9, tracks that are re-recordings of the original tracks, as well as brand new tracks just for this collab, including one for the final boss battle. In terms of in-game features, we get an active time events feature where you see events happening elsewhere while tapping on the icon in the bottom right. And so people won't get pissed off if they missed an event, they'll give us a feature where we can rewatch them later. We get Moogles who will let us shop and also sleep in tents, and like in FF9, a feature called Mognet where you deliver letters to other Moogles. We're also getting to relive popular scenes from Final Fantasy IX, but also experience new ones. From the intro trailer, you'll notice with some famous scenes including the Garnet cutting her hair scene. In saying this, apparently the ending of this collab will be different to the original game, which makes sense as we now have Aldo and his friends in the world. And they teased all new 3D cutscenes unique to this collab, which I'll be pretty interested to see. One of Final Fantasy IX's original character designers, Toshiyuki Itahana, created some unique artwork to celebrate the crossover where we see Aldo, his sister Fine, and Varroa wandering Alexandria, and Zidane and his buddies all looking chill. Fine looks afraid for her life. She doesn't like them common people, does she? And check the other poster art they did for this collab. It looks great, and of course they needed to have Cyrus riding a bloody chocobo. There's some more news soon, but first, the update releases 4th December and will be available for a limited time only until the 6th of July the next year, which is very short compared to Another Eden's other collabs, which typically last forever or at least for several years, just like their Chrono Cross collab. If you're new to the game, I have a bunch of beginner's guides for you on my channel too, so like and sub, and if you're feeling generous, become a super member to support this channel and for extra content. I'll also be streaming this update, so stay tuned. Since the Final Fantasy IX characters are free, we're getting a gacha character along with a collab update named Verdanta. She looks like a big ass Game of Thrones mummy with a giant horn sticking out of her head. She probably looks so angry because she was bullied as a kid for having that giant horn sticking out of her head. She has 2 baby polar bears by her feet though, which is kind of cute. We get up to 2,000 free Chrono Stones, 1k for finishing the collab, and simply log in for another 1k. I wish I made actual money this easily. If you're new to the game and log in for the first time between 25th November and 31st July, you get 1,000 free Chrono Stones. There's also a friend invite campaign. Existing players, if you share your invite code to new players, you and the new player get a bunch of rewards including a 5-star guaranteed character. A few people on my Discord share their codes, so feel free to use them for bonuses and to support them at the same time. If you're a new player and are too lazy to get into Discord, I've shared my invite code in the description of this video. Good luck with a free 5-star. If you haven't played Another Eden in over 60 days, you also get a bunch of rewards including a 5-star character by logging in again and then maintaining logins for 10 days. Check your notices section for more information. If Another Eden's team gets the number of email registrants and social media engagements they want, we all get a little Major's hat for a cat, and 1,000 people can win an acrylic keyring by registering on the official Collab website. We're getting a paid banner, we get a guaranteed 5-star on the 8th and 10th encounter, and a free banner, we get a guaranteed 5-star on the 10th encounter. And finally, here's how everyone can get a 5-star guaranteed ticket. Use this redeem code you see on screen. We also share new redeem codes on my Discord, so make sure to join it to be kept in the loop, and also chat about Another Eden or other games and things you may enjoy. But guess what? That's not all. They'll be announcing even more information about the collab, including a real life event in Tokyo. Another Eden team, if you're watching this, can I come and join you? I'm David Wowee. Like and sub and check out my other videos while you wait for the collab. You're gonna love them.